Sarah Jung, a junior at Seven Lakes High School, and I'm working with my mentor, Dr. Amy Lee Weichel of the San Antonio Memorial Hermann. And this is the Nurture Square, a support network within a box for mothers in the greater Houston area. Although Houston may be the fourth largest city in the continental United States, and one of the best places for young professionals to come and raise their family and their lives, that's not necessarily the case for many native Houstonians. In recent years, the number of single-parent households in Houston is rising, and curiously, over 70% of these households are managed by single mothers, as opposed to single fathers. Local governments and municipalities have not been able to keep up with this kind of problem, as many of these mothers are earning less than the national average. That means they have to split their money between household necessities such as rent, utilities, and food, and along with other necessities such as postnatal care and actual supplies for them and their newborn children. That is only causing undue stress on the household and the mother herself, and making sure that this problem only gets worse rather than getting better, as there's really not many effective programs that can deal with this situation. Although charities and non-governmental organizations have been calling for more volunteer outreach and donations to make up for the deficit, that is a long-going cause, because simply not enough is happening and more is being needed every single year. In the status quo, there are some programs that are available, such as the TANF, or the Texas Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. Now, on the surface, this looks very rosy. Many of these mothers are required to, say, do sensible things, such as take mandatory drug tests and prove they have a clean bill of non-drug usage. But other things and requirements aren't exactly as sensible when we look at them through a more nuanced viewpoint. One of the requirements that TANF requires is that they hold a job, but many of the mothers cannot do so for three major reasons. Because first, some of them may still be completing rigorous coursework and schooling to try and give themselves a better life. Second of all, they might be hampered by disabilities. And third, they could be hit by health emergencies that make sure they do not come into work and inevitably get terminated. And sadly, this status quo is replicated around the other rental associations and other help programs that are currently in place, such as the Rental Assistance Program and the Special Health Resources of Texas. Many of these don't account for the mother's disabilities and go towards collectivism rather than looking at every single mother's special and specific case. The solution is the Nurture Square. This is actually a network of mothers and actual supplies themselves. Mothers in this network will be given a free supply pack that they do not have to pay by themselves, and therefore take some of the strain off of their already strained budgets. But moreover, this network will put them into a local database of women who can make sure they can give each other advice, provide babysitting times, and also put them in the reach of governmental programs, charities, and church programs that can help them with health services and some of the things that they can't do by themselves. In all, this program will do two major things. Make sure they have the supplies so they don't have to pay for them themselves, relieving the strain on their already strained budgets, and make sure they receive help from other people anytime and anything that they need to talk about. This will primarily be geared towards low-income mothers in the greater Houston area and the inner Houston, especially in public housing projects and other low-income areas, because this is where they need it most, and this is where many of these charities and NGOs have the most outreach. As for the effectiveness of this program, this is going to have a great effectiveness in two major reasons. Because first, these mothers can actually get the advice that they need that they can't have before. One of the greatest currencies of the modern age is information, and many of these mothers don't have that within their current households. By linking many of these households together within this local database, along with members of church organizations, healthcare professionals, and local NGOs, this is going to make sure that they have valuable information that they can also pass down to other mothers in their communities. And second, by providing the supplies in the actual box, these is going to be more effective for the mothers to devote more money to household necessities and other extra things, such as paying for higher education and putting money into emergency funds. As for the feasibility of this project, by buying things in bulk and enlisting the help of church organizations and local NGOs, these own boxes will cost around $40 to $50 each, but their human price will be priceless. Because for this small price, we are going to be making sure that the mothers get the supplies that they need, which can also be handed down in the case of other mothers needing it, but also providing something much more valuable, which is connecting these mothers to a personalized network of information and other mothers just one click away. This feasibility is going to make sure that not only is it going to be effective to put into place, but it's going to make sure these women also get the help they need for the lowest price, making sure we help more at the smallest price. In conclusion, the supply network of the physical materials and the valuable information that these mothers stand to gain will therefore enrich the lives of single mother households in inner Houston and lower income Houston areas, because now they can finally devote more of their money to taking care of other members of their families, as they now don't have to pay for the pricey childhood materials that their newborns require. And second of all, this is going to make sure they get connected to one of the most valuable networks they have, a community of support and information that makes them feel more at ease, more confident, and make sure they can pass more of this information down to other mothers in need near them, creating a ripple effect, not just beyond these mothers, but their communities as well. And that is what we need to be focusing on with the Nurture Square, a supply network within a box.